Hello friends, and welcome to today's video where we're talking about Infinite's Begin, but like it's the 13 again. It's Begin, we understand, but I want to warn you, you can probably see the timestamp. I can't, as someone who's filming in real time, but I do have notes, and I have around 1,500 words of notes for this album. So maybe get a snack. I have a Mountain Dew. You can call me Nick Duramio. It's in a mug and it's gonna stay there. But this could be a long one. Now, before I actually begin, I want to give you some context on my relationship with Infinite, okay? If you want to get to the album, just skip another minute into the future or something. But I have been an Infinite stan since 2015, specifically since around the time Bad came out. And I have loved them since day one. I literally spent like 2 minutes trying to decide which Infinite album to display in this video because I was like, ooh, maybe I'll do Uhyun's solo debut. Because that album, if you haven't seen that album, it's very aesthetically pleasing. I don't like touching it. But I was like, maybe I'll do that one. Maybe I'll do Season 2, which is my favorite Infinite album. I was like, maybe I'll do their latest album. And then I just, you know what? I was like, we're doing the debut. We're doing debut album. My point is, I love Infinite so much. I love Infinite's discography so much. So to say I was extremely excited for this album would be like saying I was only mildly excited about SHINee's album. Like, I was so hyped for this album. Anyway, let's go over this video is going to work. I'm going to run through the track list. I am going to give you my thoughts on each song, and then I'm going to give the album a score out of 10 at the end. However, I do have some disclaimers before we continue. Disclaimer number 1, this album came out for me filming this morning. If you watch it the day it came out yesterday morning. But like, I'm still only a handful of listens in. I've heard this album twice, but I'm 2 listens in, and my opinions on all of these songs very much may change over time. Second disclaimer is of course my standard one. Everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion because, as the mug always says, music is subjective, and that is great. Okay, now that we have all of that out of the way, we can get started. And first up, we have the intro song 13. Now, here's what you need to understand, at least about me, to understand my feelings on this song. I've been saying for years now, the greatest instrumental intro you will ever hear will be from Ullum. That is true for Lovelyz, it's true for Eunbi, it was true for Infinite when they were under Ullum, and it's still true for Infinite now. And frankly, this intro goes off. I know normally I complain when an intro instrumental is on the lengthier side. This one's 1 minute and 45 seconds. I definitely consider that on the lengthier side. However, I'm making an exception for this because this song goes off. The first minute is definitely the weaker bit of the opening. It's just, it doesn't hit in the same way, but it's not bad. The only part I really could have done without was the interrupting bass. However, by the time we'd hit the minute mark, I'd already Stockholmed myself into liking it. Plus, that second half, like that last 45 seconds, is amazing. Again, I could have done without the interrupting bass, but the rest of that chunk is so masterfully done that I'm willing to overlook it. Next up, we have the title track, New Emotions, and I feel like I need to address the obvious. Infinite does not have a bad title. In spite of having been active for around 8 years, plus this album, like, Infinite has a ton of albums. They have a ton of title tracks. There are some I would say haven't aged the best, but there is not a single Infinite title that I would say is bad. And this is no exception. Like, when I tell you, I experienced God to this song. I had an out-of-body experience. God came to me in a vision, and I am no longer the same person. Let us begin, though, with the beginning of the song. The start of the song, that opening, it's a moment. Okay, like the opening first few seconds of the song are already excellent. It's funky and it's cool, and it's such an iconic way for them to start their first title track after such a long gap. After that, we of course have the first verse, and this is where I start gasping and shaking because it's excellent. Like, the way the background music builds throughout this verse is something that I need studied. Not to mention, the verse absolutely slaps in every way. Like, it's just, Uhyun in particular, in this verse, sounds too good to be allowed, but as a whole, I don't know who created this verse, who crafted it, but I need them to become the president of the music industry. Then we have the pre-chorus, and it's nice, It's short and it's sweet and it builds well. It slows it down just enough also so that when the chorus comes in, it hits even harder. And God, does this chorus hit. The first half of it, it stays pretty toned down. However, I was still jamming my heart out and it's still absolutely incredible. Also, that beat drop in the second half of the chorus, masterpiece. Masterpiece behavior. That's when I went from gasping and shaking to screaming and crying. After the chorus, we have the second verse, and frankly, here's the thing, it's really good. But I don't know if it's as good as the first verse, although to be fair, I'm a Hyun stan, so I am biased. Closing out the song though, after that, we just have another chorus and then that's it. And it does minorly annoy me that we don't have a bridge. Like, I don't know who decided that K-pop songs recently, not a lot, a good few of them actually haven't been having bridges as much. We need a bridge. However, I think it's pretty abundantly clear I loved every second of this song. So in the grand scheme of things, this song not having a bridge isn't that deep. Big picture, this song is a masterpiece. In terms of 2023 releases, this is my favorite boy group song so far. And if it's not that, which I'm 99% sure it is, it's like top 3. However, in terms of infinite titles, it's not even in the top 3. Like, it's maybe top 5. But, like, I just think it's so interesting. I was texting the bestie about it because she also really likes Infinite. And I was saying, like, it's so fascinating that Infinite has outsold every boy group release of 2023 with something that isn't even close to their best title. Also, before I move on, I just want to point something out, which is that, as I previously mentioned, Infinite put out one of the greatest songs of 2023, and they did it with no raps in said song. Just something for music executives to consider. On to the next song, which is my favorite song, and that is Time Difference. Now, I want to give you a frame of reference for how much I enjoyed this song, for how good this song is, okay? I cried the first time I heard this song. Like, I actively teared up and cried because this song was so good. But right off the bat, I want to talk about the background music, okay? This background music needs to become required listening for every composer ever. There are 5 people who did the compositions for this song according to Melon.com, and they have all become icons to me because the background music in this song is one of the best things I've ever heard. Background music aside, the verses in this song are also incredible. They're pretty toned down in the grand scheme of Infinite verses. However, they still have me absolutely losing my entire mind, which is a bit of a power move. The pre-chorus, meanwhile, is stunning. It flows so well into the chorus, and I absolutely adore it. And speaking of the chorus, this is nowhere near the best chorus in Infinite's discography, and yet it broke me spiritually. This chorus is the part of the song that had me crying, if you were wondering. Specifically the first chorus, when Woohyun comes in and the beat drops, it broke me. It broke me and I started crying. To summarize, I love this song. I love this song so much. This song is simultaneously the pinnacle of music, and arguably not even the best song on this album, and definitely not the best song in Infinite's catalog, which just feels so quintessentially Infinite because I cannot think of a single other group in which that is the case. Anyway, next we have I Got You, and in what is a surprise to absolutely nobody, this song is excellent, although to be fair, by the Infinite standard of things, that's pretty normal. But actually though, like, this song is so good. The verses are amazing, but once again, that shouldn't be news to anybody. Instead, I'm simply going to point out that I've been sitting here now for around 16 minutes praising this album, and this is the first song to have a rap in it, and once again, that's just something for some executives to consider. The rap is good if you were wondering, but that doesn't matter. I don't really want to talk about the rap. I want to talk about the chorus, because this chorus had demonic effects on me. I just adore this chorus. The fact that it's surprisingly chill, and yet I will still snap my neck jamming to it, is such a power move, but I also have no regrets. Like, if I died to this song, I'm okay with it. Okay, we have reached the final non-instrumental song on this album, which is Find Me, and this is our obligatory ballad on the album, and I feel like I need to clarify something for the newer girls, the girls who may not have been here as long as me, and may not be aware of the fact that Infinite has some of the best vocals in K-pop, and if you think your faves have better vocals, you're lying to yourself. Like, this song is stunning. It is gorgeous, And for once, I won't even entertain the ballad haters. Normally I say you can not like your ballads and you can move on with your day. This time you are factually incorrect. This song is a masterpiece and you need to sit down and be quiet. Actually, like, this song is such a moment. The pre-chorus is immaculate and the chorus had me on the verge of tears because frankly, those are my dad's. In short, I had a lot of emotions about this song. And if you have taste and you stan Infinite, you'll enjoy this song. I think you will. If you don't have taste and you don't stan Infinite, you need to reevaluate your priorities, gain taste, and stan Infinite, and then you too will enjoy this song. Now here's the thing, okay? Longtime viewers of this channel will be aware of one core thing about me. I skip instrumentals. If your last song on the album is the instrumental of your title track, I'm going to skip it because I usually talk about the background music when I talk about the title track. Alternatively, I have nothing to say about the background music and therefore nothing to say about the instrumental. However, I didn't talk about the background music when I talked about New Emotions. So last but not least for this little album review, we're going to talk about the instrumental of New Emotions. For some context, okay? There is exactly one instrumental of a title track that I actively listen to really on any form of a consistent basis, and that is the Tell Me What to Do instrumental, because that instrumental slaps. And this will be probably joining that list because this instrumental was honestly a bit of an experience. Like, I was jamming more to this instrumental than I do to most songs, which is such a power move, but also, again, just so quintessentially Infinite. However, that's really all I have to say about this instrumental and as a result, this album. So with that, we shall move on to score time. Okay, overall, 10 out of 10. If you think it's anything less, you're actually on drugs and you are clinically insane, because this is one of the best albums I've heard in quite a while. To be fair, I will concede. I'm biased. I'm an Infinite stan, and Infinite hasn't put anything out in a very long time, so I am unsurprised that I love this album because, again, I'm biased. But this is also just such an amazing album. Like, there's not a song on this album I would consider at the good level. They're all either great or above, and at least 2 to 3 I'd consider absolute masterpieces. So yeah, 10 out of 10. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening to me rant for however long this video will end up being about Infinite. I've currently been filming for 25 minutes, so it's been a time, but thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this album down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite song is. You can also like and subscribe if you want to or don't. And you can follow me on Twitter at SMScromReviews. I'll link that in the description along with any other Infinite review that I have done, so you can check that out if you so choose. But yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye!